Good morning, church. Pastor Mike here. It's April the 14th, and we are doing Acts 17, 4 through 9. And I like to call this Turning the World Upside Down. So I'll begin reading. And some of them were persuaded and joined Paul and Silas, as did a great many of the devout Greeks, and not a few of the leading women. But the Jews were jealous, and taking some wicked men of the rabble, they formed a mob, set the city in an uproar, and attacked the house of Jason, seeking to bring them out to the crowd. And when they could not find them, they dragged Jason and some of the brothers before the city authorities, shouting, "These men who have turned the world upside down have come here also, and Jason has received them, and they are all acting against the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, Jesus." And the people and the city authorities were disturbed when they heard these things. And when they had taken money as security from Jason and the rest, they let them go. So we have after about 3 weeks of 3 Sabbaths, 3 weeks of ministry, Paul has won quite a number of converts, and these are Greek Jewish proselytes and devout women. And the Jews are getting jealous. People have left the synagogue, and they've got no other recourse but to basically use the Roman establishment, the city and the authorities, to get something done, basically to get Paul and Silas thrown out. So they staged this riot. The part where security money is offered, it's a peace bond. And so Jason and the others had to pay this peace bond, which they put up security, and then this allowed Paul and Silas had to leave, and they couldn't return. Otherwise, the money would be forfeit. Well, this really didn't deter the Thessalonians. They heard the word, they believed the word, and they were proclaiming the word. And so it really didn't cause much of a problem. And we'll see later on, when we get to Thessalonians, just how strong their faith and their enthusiasm for the truth really is. So Paul emphasized the kingship of Christ and the return of Christ when he spoke to the Thessalonians. This term in the Greek, another king, means another of a different kind. The pagan rulers really didn't understand. They thought that Jesus was going to be a political king, that Jesus was going to conquer, but he conquered with the cross. His weapons were truth and love. He died on the cross for his enemies so that we could have deliverance from the domain of darkness. And this was something that turned the world upside down, because he upset the peace that the Romans and the Jews were trying to keep. And so that's what he did. He turned the world upside down with a different kind of rule. And then the emphasis was on Christ's return. The Thessalonians had seen much persecution. They had seen people die, and they weren't sure what was going to happen. And so Paul reassured them with the return of that Christ would return, and they needed to be ready for it. We see here that Satan was really behind this mob and these wicked men and this riot, and so Paul was hindered, and we will see that in 1 Thessalonians 2:18 when we get there. But the hindrance was really not a detriment, because the Thessalonians believed, and they were willing to proclaim God's word, and they were willing to reach the lost. What a challenge that they have given us. As we read this letter, we know that that's what we need to be doing. We need to, no matter what kind of persecution, no matter what kind of suffering we have, we still need to win the lost. We still need to proclaim God's truth. That's all I have. Bye for now.